So here we are reviewing for the comp exam, and I'm going to be adding some of the problems that we have on the comp. So the first one we're looking at, this would be comp question number 1, is -7 plus a -5. So these are the same sign. They're both negative, so we're going to add them and keep the sign. So 7 plus 5 is 12. Keeping the sign will be -12. When we look at the next problem, here we have opposite signs. So in this case, we're going to subtract. So 7 minus 2 is 5, and keep the sign of the bigger number, which will be negative. On the next problem, we are looking at -4.9 minus 7.3. So these are the same signs. We're going to add them, and they are decimals. So what I usually do is bring this one down below it, and 9 plus 3 is going to get us 12. Carry your 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12.2, remember they were both negative, so you're going to keep your negative sign. The next question we're going to look at would be comp question. This would be comp question number, like the 4th one on your yellow sheet. The second one, comp question number 2, is -4 minus 11 is equal to what? They're the same sign. You're going to add them and keep the sign. So 4 plus 11 is 15. Keeping the sign will be -15. A similar question would be -9 minus 7. They are the same sign. You're going to add them and keep the sign. So this will be 16. Keeping the sign will be negative. The next question that we're going to look at would be question 5 on your yellow sheet. This is for my class. So on question 5, we're adding 2 fractions. So here, you cannot clear the denominator because there is no equal sign. So what you need to do is find a common denominator. So with these 2 denominators here, I need to find a common denominator. So I'm adding my 2 fractions here. So the easiest way is to take 11 times 2 because 2 is not divisible into 11. So 11 times 2 will get me 22. So that is my common denominator over there. So I multiplied 11 times 2. So what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So I'm multiplying the top by 2. So 2 times -5 is -10. And on this side, I have 2 times 11 that got me to 22. So I'm also going to multiply the top by 11. And -1 times 11 will get me -11. So here I'm adding 2 fractions. I know this is going to stay the same on the denominator, and on my numerators I have the same sign, so I'm going to add them and keep the sign just like we did before. So 10 plus 11 is 21. Keeping the sign will be -21 over 22. The last problem we're going to look at on this video is going to be number 3 on your comp review, your yellow sheet. And we're going to follow the order of operations. So first of all, we need to keep in mind that we need to take care of our groupings first. So my 3 minus is going to carry on down. 7 minus 8, they're opposite signs. We're going to subtract, keep the sign of the bigger. So -1, because 8 minus 7 is 1, keeping the sign of the bigger is negative. Plus, this also has opposite signs, so 9 minus 6 is 3, keeping sign of the bigger, it will also be negative. Remember, these can be different ways, so this isn't always the way it's going to work. Now I need to take care of my grouping inside the brackets. So -1 plus -3, I need to combine those together. They are the same sign, so I'm going to add them and keep the sign. So 1 plus 3 is 4. Keeping the sign will be negative, and I'm going to square that. So I'm going to take care of my exponents next because I've taken care of all of the groupings. So 3 minus -4 squared. Anything squared is positive, so this number will become positive. There is the negative sign that's coming down, but this will be positive. So negative times negative is positive. 4 times 4 is 16. So now I'm looking at 3 minus 16. They are opposite signs, so I'm going to subtract and keep the sign of the bigger. 16 minus 3 is 3. Keeping the sign of the bigger will be negative 3. And that will take care of the first 5 questions on your comp exam.